going on, everybody? Welcome back to Team Big Plays. So we got another discussion video for you today. Crystron needle fiber and why we don't need it, why it's terrible. Not in that it's terrible as in it's just a bad card, it's terrible as in so good it just causes damage. Yeah, so that's what today's video is going to be about. As always, hit like, subscribe, notification bell, and goes to plush, get back to me, man. I want to get it to you, but if I can't, I'm going to have to repick, and obviously I don't want that because you won. So make sure you leave a comment down below, and yeah, let's just get right into the video, guys. So, Crystron needle fiber. I would say this card is probably the bane of the OCG. Everybody hates it, for the most part, and it needs to be banned. Why? Because this card is so good that it's bad. So kind of, let me get the effect for you right here. So what it does, 2 monsters including a tuner. It's a link to water, obviously it falls into the Crystron archetype. 1500 attack, obviously it's link 2 so it doesn't have any defense. 2 monsters including a tuner. If this card is link summoned, you can special summon 1 level 3 or lower tuner from your hand or deck in defense position, but it cannot activate its effect this turn. During your opponent's main or battle phase, quick effect, you can banish this card, special summon 1 tuner synchro monster from your extra deck. This is treated as a synchro summon. You can only use each effect of Crystron needle fiber once per turn. So this card is similar kind of to Isolde in Summon Sorceress, and the fact that it special summons monsters from your deck, which normally in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a very strong forward ability. As you can kind of see with the dangers, they don't necessarily special summon from the deck, but they do replace themselves as if they were. Summon Sorceress people have been wanting banned for a while now. Isolde was kind of on the maybe we should hit this list. Obviously, just deck searching in general, Saryuja is a huge problem. Well, maybe not huge, but Saryuja is a problem now. So this kind of falls under the categories. The only difference is, 1, not only is it linked to, similar to Isolde, but Isolde has its own drawbacks. See, Isolde you have to play 4 equipped spells, or anywhere from 5 to 3, which normally people will pick 4, that's the golden number. So obviously there's drawbacks to that, mainly being that those are bricks, as well as you have to have a warrior type monster on the field. Summon Sorceress, you have to have a monster in front of its arrow. Sometimes that includes giving your opponent a monster, so in some way there's a bit of drawbacks to those cards. Needle fiber, however, can special summon straight from the deck. You don't need any monsters on field, it's just summon, boom, you're good to go. So obviously there are a couple targets that could come up for this. Level Eater, I don't know if Level Eater is banned or not. I think it got a erratum, did get an erratum, I'm pretty sure. Or Glow Up Bulb. So Glow Up Bulbs send the top card of your deck, special summon this card. So that's really powerful. So not only do you special summon it and you get your tuner out, you can link that into something, let's say a Link Karibo, and then you special summon the Glow Up Bulb back. So first of all, you have 4 monsters. It ends up getting you Link 2, Link Karibo, Glow Up Bulb. And that can be just off your normal summon. I think there's this one Blackwing card, you normal summon it special summons 2 tokens. If I'm correct, it's a tuner and the tokens are non-tuners. And so, first of all, you get 3 monsters out of 1. Then, that one you can just link away with the tuner to special summon needle fiber, and you still have 1 more. So, if you use that card, you're going 5 off of 1. So it's inevitably a +4. As you know, in Yu-Gi-Oh, that's a very big problem. You don't want to go +4 off of 1 card. Armageddon Knight, which you can see got limited and a whole bunch of other stuff got banned. So let's kind of look at this from a perspective of, oh, well, what if we hit, you know, kind of the problem cards? What if we hit that Blackwing? What if we hit Steam the Cloak, which is a card I do see used a lot in the combo, because you can special out Steam, all that stuff. Or Glow Up Bulb. Well, then that kind of creates a situation of what happened with Firewall Dragon. So if you don't know, Firewall Dragon was basically the enabler of FTKs. A lot of FTKs, for the most part. Now there are still, obviously, there's Cyber's 9 FTK. There's some smaller ones, but they're a lot easier to break. They're super inconsistent. They're not going meta anytime soon, but it enabled it. So instead, what Konami did, instead of hitting Firewall, because they were like, oh, it's the Ace Monster card, which Decode Talker is, but actually no, I honestly can't tell at this point. I just like to feel the conversation. But so what they did is they hit other cards kind of around it. They hit Armageddon Knight, they hit A Assault Core. For some reason, I don't think this has anything to do with it, but they did hit Called by the Graveyard too. They hit Heavy Metal Foes, Electromite, so it just kept hurting a bunch of other decks that really needed those cards to kind of be good. Obviously, ABC was completely unplayable after A Assault Core got limited to 1, which just really sucks for them. Even with Firewall, it won because it did get limited real quick. It was a big problem. The problem didn't go away until they hit Firewall, which we just got 2018, sometime around October, if I'm correct, October or November, one of those two. And it was a good thing. So obviously Needle Fiber is not in the TCG yet, it's still in the OCG. So kind of looking from the TCG to OCG, Needle Fiber is definitely one of the more dominating cards, as they have a lot of synchro decks. Black Wings are meta. Not only do they have Needle Fiber, they also have access to other cards, kind of like the Raid Raptors Link Monster. So as we don't have a lot of that stuff in the TCG, you might think, oh well, we don't have a lot of this other stuff, so how do we know Needle Fiber won't powerful? Well, if you kind of look it up on YouTube, I'll include a link in the description down below of a video that I found really good kind of indicator of what Needle Fiber can do on kind of like a bare minimum basis. You can put out Stardust Divine Cipher, Cosmic Blazar, and Shooting Quasar, all 4,000 attack monsters. I don't know if Cipher Divine has a negate. 2 of those have negates. One, once it's destroyed, special summons a monster that has basically the same thing in another negate, just to kind of like simplify that for you, because I don't want to read their effects out loud, just for the sake of time. But yeah, that's gonna kill you. I think one of them gets to attack 2 or 3 times during the battle phase, and that's without normal summoning or continuing any combo thereafter. Not only that, of course, you can go into a 2 synchro. That can be something like Martial Metal Marcher, which can get you your glow up ball back, so you get 2 uses out of that. It can be another Crystron, like I think Quandax was the one that people would normally bring out in the video. But yeah, it just enables a lot. So if it came out, it would break the meta. There'd be a lot of new decks that would come out of it. Yes, I agree. However, I think this would kind of drive other decks down. So this kind of brings us to the point, where are we in the meta right now? I think we're in a good place. We have tons of different decks. I think this is the rogue chance. You know, the rogue revolution, you might call it. So a lot of rogue decks are rising up. I think if Needle Fiber came out, sure, there'd be other decks. But then it'd be the same thing kind of with, you know, the warrior strategy. It's just a flood of warriors. So now that warriors are over, it'd basically be tuner.deck, synchro.deck, Doppel Warrior, Glow Up Ball, Rocket Synchron, so many things I have seen. The video I showed you is literally just the tip of the iceberg. I think it was made right when it came out, because there are a couple banned cards in it. There's just so much BS, and combining it with 3-star Yuja? No. So unless the card gets an erratum, I think it's safe to say it would cause a huge impact in the meta. I kind of bring it back to 2018, where we just had one type of deck that wasn't even like, didn't have its own name except for Gumblar, Rongo, Turbo, where it would just slap out basically game, put a win condition on the board. So yeah, personally, I don't think it needs to come up. Part of the reason why I brought it up is because I kind of been seeing it a lot around. I was watching the Red Eyes Guard Dragon video from Team Samurai X, and he was like, yeah, no, we don't, which brings me to my next point. He was saying, because his comments were saying, how do you make all these decks without using Needle Fiber? He's like, I don't know, bro, I just do it. So I think that brings up another good point. We don't need Needle Fiber because we already have things similar to Needle Fiber, work the exact same way, in a sense, that have their own drawbacks. So they're basically kind of fair versions of Needle Fiber, if you want to think about it in that sense. So that brings up the point. Why do you need to release it? There's not a need, because we already have it, just in different forms that's a little bit harder and a little more fair, that don't break the meta. Summon Sorceress, a lot of people have been saying, well, let's ban Summon Sorceress. To me, I haven't seen it used in many strategies. The main strategy I've seen it used in now is Guard Dragon, since Gumblar and Mongo got banned. So, yeah, but that's going to be it for today's video, guys. This week I plan on getting you a couple different ones. Demise deck profile, hopefully Cosmo True Draco, if I can get that in. Depends on me and my friends' kind of schedules throughout the day. And, yeah, I guess that's just going to be it. Like, subscribe, comment down below if you want to see more. And Team Big Play signing off.